All right, Ilya, as you say to everyone, may the force be with you. I want to acknowledge how the force has been with you and congratulate you for sticking to your guns when everyone else was bearish precious metals and you stayed long, and you're starting to really be rewarded for that, as well as, you've been bearish in market equities for a while, and it's been a whippy thing, but right on both asset classes. So congratulations for having the conviction to stick with things when they're not working right away and you don't have immediate gratification. So great calls, Ilya. Nice forecast.
Thank you very much, Dale. Actually, I'm better with political forecast than economics so far.
Okay, well then I'm guessing, if you can see, I'm showing your website up here, Ilya. Then I'm guessing that you didn't write the Psychology of Investing ebook that you're selling for 99 cents. Did you write that?
Definitely.
You did write that? Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right. All right. Okay. So, you just said you're better at political, but you're also pretty good at investing. So you're a Renaissance man. Anyway, okay. So, I encourage people to go to Ilya's site, and why don't we start where you want to, Ilya? I guess the thing that's on most people's minds since the Democrats took control of Congress, and I know you've written about it, you have a book about it. Why don't you tell us what you're looking for here regarding the destiny of our current President, Donald Trump?
So the question is, what is going to happen to Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
It looks like this guy, Ilya Teplitsky, wrote a book entitled Impeachment or Not, ? So why don't you tell us what you think here, buddy?
One of the very, very few who predicted his victory in the election about a year in advance and confirmed his predictions 2 days before the election, when it was absolutely clear to everyone that he will not win. So I was pretty good in this particular thing. So in terms of Donald Trump was elected on the Uranus-Neptune semi-square.
Okay.
With Uranus semi-square, the easiest for people to understand that Neptune is a planet of Hollywood, a planet of illusion. It's a planet of fake news. It's a planet of gross exaggeration. When I read people who support Trump, what they say about Alexandria and other Democrats, leading Democrats,
yeah,
they're terrifying people. What I see, the left liberals write about Donald Trump is also terrifying. Well, they call Alexandria a bartender, they call Donald Trump an idiot. And I normally ask them, how come these bartenders idiots are where they are? So, in short,
you're talking about Alexander who are you talking about? Alexandria?
Cortez.
Huh?
So, Alexandria Cortez.
Okay.
So, Donald Trump is a master of illusions. He creates a sensation. Of course, it is not him. He is just a reflection of the astrological influence we're living in. Uranus-Neptune semi-square cannot produce real prosperity. It can only produce numbers that reflect prosperity. It can only produce the illusions of prosperity. All presidential elections correspond to planetary influences. Donald Trump is a product of this Uranus-Neptune semi-square. This semi-square will end in 2020, and with this semi-square, it will be the end of Trump's presidency. Most likely, the next president will be a Democrat, because, again, under this Uranus-Neptune semi-square, there is usually a change of a party affiliation of the president. So
okay, so not impeached, but just not reelected is your case now.
he cannot be impeached and he cannot be assassinated, even though at least 200 million people all over the world hate him. Impeachment can only happen under certain astrological configurations, and there are about 4 criteria that when a president can be impeached. And out of these 4 criteria, only one is present in this particular time frame. However, if by some miracle Donald Trump gets reelected, and there is a slight possibility during the election day in 2020, not high possibility, very slight possibility that he can repeat a miracle of 2016, then his chances for impeachment are very high.
Okay. All right. So great coverage on that. You know, during this era of Neptune that you're talking about, illusions, I mean, to me, the world seems very surreal right now. It kind of, I feel like I'm in the twilight zone with a lot of things that are going on. But why don't we get to what's really front and center right now is the trade rift between China and the U.S. And do you see anything in the stars that talk about how this may or may not resolve itself? Because it seems to be a major factor in the economy.
I do, Dale. I look at the very big picture at the astrological cycle that lasts approximately 850 years.
Wow.
To put it in short, there was a change of an era in 1989. I will not dwell on exactly what were the astrological configurations because it will take another 15 minutes.
You know what I remember from 1989? That was the end of the Nikkei bull market blow off top in Japan, 1989.
Well, it's not just one particular day.
Right.
It's more like a 5 years.
That's what this old guy remembers for 1989.
You probably remember the fall of the Soviet Union. You probably remember the revolution.
Right.
You probably remember that President Gorbachev and President Bush Sr. both of them proclaimed the New World Order. And you probably remember the United States and coalition of the United Nations defeated Saddam Hussein. So it was the culmination of the world order of the past, when the United States was the leading protagonist and the main influence in all world affairs. So United States is declining, and the conditions in the world becoming more and more global. It is the era of globalization. Under similar astrological configurations that were taking place even a year ago, to be more precise, from 2000 to 2016, it is more like a change, a process of change. All superpowers, meaning United States and Russia, are declining. In case of Russia, much faster. Decline is pretty rapid. As a matter of fact, you're probably not aware, neither your listeners, that China now owns a part of Russia the size of Alaska. They rented it kind of indefinitely, and on this territory in Siberia, Russian laws no longer function. So, in this period, all superpowers of the past, and new emerging superpowers, China, they come into collision. As a result of this collision, all superpowers decline faster. New superpowers like China, they stop expanding, and their expansion is delayed for possibly a couple of 100 years. So the function of Donald Trump and the function of the United States is to stop Chinese expansion. Now, how it translates in the trade war? No matter what the result will be, no matter what will be signed, China miraculous advance will stop to crawl or maybe even reverse. United States will not become great again. So I cannot tell you exactly how the trade wars will get formulated, but I am reasonably certain about the results. Both superpowers
Okay.
will lose political influence and slow their economic progress.
Okay, so with this big, broad theme about the new emerging king of the hill, um, is there a way that you're looking, we're all interested in capital gains and making money. Are you doing anything China related, like owning its currency, or their stock market has been under a lot of pressure? How do people financially take advantage? They're big buyers of gold. How do people financially take advantage of this power shift?
Well, Dale, this is a bit beyond my qualifications,
Okay.
but just kind of a wild guess, which I'm actually pretty good at.
Yeah, it reminds me of it's with the
Oh,
greatest pride. It's with the greatest pride I'd like to announce how humble I've become.
sell China, sell US, at least for
Sell
a year.
China?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what is
All right.
happening. The new world order is era of globalization. There will be no single superpower or two or three superpowers controlling the world. It would be more like a united world. Well, no country, no government, but large corporations will control the world. So the transition period is for a year, precious metals.
Okay.
Expect a wild ride though. The market managers still can make the markets move in any direction they want. But I suspect, well, not suspect, I'm sure that they overestimate their abilities and make a few mistakes.
Okay. So precious metals. Any view on all the shifting sands, to use a metaphor, in the Middle East? What do you see happening there? It looks like after the Khashoggi assassination by the Saudis, again, it probably plays into your theme that we're losing influence because Congress doesn't want to support Saudi in their war in Yemen, and it looks like the Saudis are cutting deals with everyone else now. Could this be the beginning of the end of the petrodollar with what's happening between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia?
I can I can only comment on two things. We're losing influence. America will not become great again in terms of being an empire, the most influential in the world. America will become just another country, like former superpower like England, and it may take 100 years. The reason for it is not because of the Saudi, but because the American people do not want to die and pay for those wars in order to
Right.
control other people's countries, and the large corporations who benefit from it, they don't benefit enough to take political risks. So America will withdraw. This was the same reason of the collapse of the British Empire and all other empires. It becomes economically unprofitable.
Okay,
In terms of,
they become
in terms,
isolationists, and the U.S. went through a period of isolationism. They didn't want to get involved in uh, the first two world wars. Are the planet star setups, the planet setups, similar to when we were isolationists and did not want to get involved in the wars in Europe?
I did not study precisely the year of 1914, 1918 about
Yeah.
isolationism in the United States.
Okay.
My best at this point that United States was not really an isolationist. It traded heavily with the Allied powers, and it traded a lot more with Britain than with Germany. So it was isolationist in the words, but not in the deeds.
Okay.
What I can say about petrodollar, which actually I actually did study, the dollar will remain the world currency, the world reserve currency for several decades, roughly at least 50 years. Like the way it happens when you have a new emerging superpower, its currency does not become world currency right away. It did not happen with the US dollar. When United States became the world superpower in 1870s, it already had more railroads than all the rest of the world combined. But nevertheless, until 1944, it took 74 years. So China emerged as the world superpower around world economic superpower around 1989. It will take them probably another 70 years. I don't think that yuan will become the world currency. It would be more like a universal currency. So in short, what I am sure, the dollar is good for at least 50 more years.
wow.
Even though it might fluctuate. See, Dave, I am in Argentina.
Yeah.
And I believe Argentina reflects the mood.
People would rather have dollars any day there, right?
People do not have this concept of all these complications of US policy. They just hate American and like everything American. Whatever you hear in the news does not stop them from accumulating as many dollars as they can. So, but the next currency will be global, not the dollar.
Like an SDR.
Even though cannot say this, I cannot say.
Okay. Well, how about, you know what? Go ahead, finish up, and I have a question to follow up on it. Go ahead.
There was a short period of time when dollar went very low, to the point that the Europeans refused to take dollars as payment in various shops from American tourists. It is possible that under the same astrological configurations, dollar will have a short decline, maybe lasting for a few months, but this is about it.
Okay, so that leads me to something that is fairly new on the scene, so there's not a lot of history. Do you have any view on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency phenomena, Ilya?
The only I don't have I don't have a excuse me, I don't have a qualified view.
Okay.
Just my astrology and psychology indicates that right now market managers are controlling everything, and there is a class struggle with the notorious 1% or 1% and the rest of us. And since the middle class is overstretched with healthcare, cost of education, cost of food, the only people that can really make money from are people like you who trade in cryptocurrency. So I believe that the market managers will do everything to outsmart you and take your money from your investment in cryptocurrency, and they can easily do.
Okay. So why don't we wrap it with, despite living under this influence, I would say that you have it's a pretty optimistic view of the future, even though the old superpowers are in decline and China's on the rise. A lot of people are talking about to sell things, all kinds of apocalyptic events, anything from war and
No chance for it.
No chance. So no chance for war or global warming, earth changes. Some people now predicting a new ice age, So you have polarity on, whether we're going to melt or freeze, and basically you have a fairly sanguine outlook for our future on Earth, and that differs. You differ from a lot of people using your art or your science that have all kinds of things that we should be, getting off the grid and becoming preppies. You're saying it's really not going to be necessary to prep for much. Is that true? Am I encapsulating your view of our future?
Well, first answer, under the influence of Uranus-Neptune semi-square, it is not gloom and doom. It is gloom without doom. A lot of gloom, but the doom will never come. It appears at the moment that it's really bad, but it is not. It's just a little blip on the line of history.
Okay.
And my second answer, this new globalization era that began in 1989, the 50 years of this, even though 50 years have not passed, gives a good indication what the rest of it will be. So the rest of it will be very peaceful comparing with the previous eras. And I study history as long as maybe 5,000 years in the past. Imperfect as we are, we're so much better than even 100 years ago.
What a great way to end a fascinating discussion with Ilya Teplitsky. Ilya is not very active on Twitter, so take a snapshot of his website, www.astroeconomic cycles. You see all the topics that he has here. Ilya, I want to thank you so much for sharing your life's work with us again today. You always open my eyes, and actually what a hopeful view of the future, which is great balance compared to all the negativity that is out there. Now when I see all this negativity, I'm going to turn to my wife and go, honey, it's just an illusion. How about that, buddy?
Very difficult to be negative when you are 15 minutes from the warm ocean in great summer.
Enjoy, Ilya. Thank you so much for being here. The video will be out in the next couple hours, and I'll leave you with your message, your tagline. May the force be with you, and have a great 2019. And let's get back together again in the next 3 to 6 months and see how things are unfolding.
May the force be with you.
Thank you. That's Ilya Teplitsky, everyone. That's a wrap. Alina loved it. Forex Gal liked it. A lot of people enjoyed it. Thank you once again, Ilya. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And we'll be back tomorrow for investing.com Thursday. Good hunting. Adios. Do they say adios in Argentina?
Ciao.
Adios, Ilya. Ciao, buddy. Ciao, baby. See you later.